All right, and welcome back to, of course, this is TV47's weekend edition. Say What is starting right now. And like I mentioned when we started the show, tonight we're really tackling a very sensitive topic, and it's really about abusive relationships. I don't know if you saw during the week, we had this man who, whose girlfriend, burnt him, with hot water, got on boiled water, nakamwagilia, and this man actually really suffered severe burn injuries. And really the focus tonight, we're putting, abusive relationships into focus, and also just the red flags. And I put it on my social media, and I've gotten quite a number of messages that, how do you know, that your person, your partner is actually capable of something like that? It is actually over the Valentine's weekend. Let me introduce my guest tonight. Doreen, is your first time. Karibu sana. Yes, Doreen Katha, she's a psychotherapist. Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Happy to have you. And of course, the lovely Pastor Sue is here.
Thank you so much.
Today is Women's Strong.
I tell you.
It's a Women's Strong meeting. So let me ask you, Doreen, did you see that story, and
Yes,
how did you take it? Because it was completely sad.
Yeah, indeed it was so sad.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, sometimes an abuser is not so obvious. And there were many questions that came about around that story. And for the first time, I can say, having been in the field of GBV, as a GBV champion, that is gender-based violence, I've seen more of men as perpetrators, unlike women.
Yes.
And this particular one was on the extreme.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was quite young too.
Yeah. This was just a young couple, and I can say this was an intimate partner violence. And intimate partner violence can happen to those who are married, those who are cohabiting, those who are dating.
Yes.
And I tend to think, I don't really understand what triggered this. But as we move on, we are going to see some of the things that brings about such issues.
Yeah. Pastor Suliona.
Yeah, Nilion, and it's very sad.
Yeah.
This man was burnt badly. And, burns when you're an adult can really have a lot of scarring. And unlike when you are burnt when you are a child.
Yes.
And I hope that this will not affect his self-esteem after he has healed. And I hope that they never burnt him is 1%, because that can be very sad.
Definitely. Oh,
yeah.
For
The
sure.
1% is very key to a man.
Yeah.
But all the same, it's a very sad story, as Doreen has said, and especially coming out from a woman. But this tells you that an abuser can be a man, an abuser can be a woman.
Yes.
And that's why we need to so much highlight about these things, because they are now with us, especially now because of what we are watching on social media and seeing women getting so empowered, and we feel that we are also like men.
Yes.
That attitude has really brought a lot of commotion between even husbands and wives.
Yes.
Because the woman, when we are empowered with money, money can reveal the true character of who you are. And unfortunately, this could be a childhood emotional trauma right from this girl. Probably she came from a very violent, environment or a family. And she saw maybe women being, beaten, physical abuse, and she said, over my dead body, this will never happen to me. So it would be a revenge mission. Because psychologically she was affected and did not probably vent out or even get a therapy. And so that's why it's very important for us to be very observant, especially the ways, the wordings of a person when they are annoyed, and the things they keep on repeating. Like if someone keeps on telling you one day I'll ban you, that person will surely do it, because the power of life and death is in your tongue. And so we have to be very careful when an abuser keeps on saying something that you feel it's a threat to your life. You have to listen. And if someone keeps on repeating something, that's something already that is in their mind and in their heart. And they are just waiting for that appropriate time when you provoke them, and they will ban you. And when they ban you, they don't take responsibility. They tell you are the one who has made me to ban you. And so you feel so condemned. You wonder how would you have handled this. And that's why we want to let all the people who are in relationship and in marriage know that when you are going through and in the hands of an abuser, seek help. We have so many therapists, psychotherapists. We have people who have done counseling. Don't keep quiet and wish that this person will change.
Or share with family, friends.
Share with someone. Because most people think that this person will change. Abusers don't change. They are following a script. There's something about them. And when they are psychologically affected, unless they go through therapy, they can't heal. You can't just heal naturally.
Absolutely.
And so this is a very sad story, especially coming out from a woman, knowing that women, we are very, empathetic, sympathetic.
Yes,
We nurture, we don't destroy. It's really sad. But this had to come from a woman. And this is just a tip of an iceberg. So many men are really suffering in the hands of women, but now they fear to come out because men are because of the community and the society, they want to take a man, to be a bold person.
Yeah.
So he keeps quiet and anyamaza. Then later on, you find this person has committed suicide or something worse has happened to his health.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right. So as we continue with our conversation, remember you can also chime in. You can talk to us on our WhatsApp number. We'd be glad to hear your thoughts on this one. And we have our question of the day. We just want to know from your end, what are the telltale signs, when it comes to an abusive, relationship? There we go. What are some of the early warning signs of abusive behavior that people often ignore in relationships? And that's why we're having this conversation, because it's very important. Doreen, just coming to you, just going back to the incident, the way it happened.
Yeah.
This girl actually, like premeditating it, went boiled water. So the whole time is something that is actually completely planned. How long does it take for somebody to do that? Because by the time you're getting home, this person is maybe even asleep. You boil the water pole, alafu sasa unampata now when they're completely off guard. What is the thought process of this person?
Wow. I'll start by saying there are what we call cognitive distortions. Like someone saying, I want to do something because you've done ABC.
Right.
And I want to accomplish this because of 1, 2, 3. So I'm trying to imagine this person. I don't know what transpired. And this could have taken maybe a longer time or a shorter time, depending also on the state of this abuser. Because this is what happens. I'll say the abuse takes form in various domains.
Yes.
Can be physical, can be verbal, can be, something to do with sexual, abuse.
Sexual abuse too.
Can also be even spiritual. Like now we've seen what happened during when we are talking about this person who entered into a mosque.
Yes.
That was also an abuse in a, religious setup.
Yes.
And then it can also happen whereby, it can be verbal as well. Someone saying some things.
Yeah.
And for this particular one, people are so different. There is this person who doesn't have emotional regulation. And so something just triggers, and immediately someone thinks, this is what I'm going to do to deal with this issue.
Yes.
But of course, we've had many issues around boiling of water. We've had people getting threats. I'll boil water and I'll pour it.
Yeah, telling you that the process it will take.
They will do it. And so what happens if this person doesn't have any manner of regulation as far as cognitions or the thought process is concerned, this person is going to do that act. And that's why you hear someone say, I didn't intend to do that, but it happened.
But it happened.
Because they were not able to take care of what was going through them. And this can be as a result, as Pastor Sue has said, can be as a result of social learning. We've seen some of these things happen. Like what we say, monkey see, monkey do.
Yes.
Maybe this person grew in an environment, in a home setup where this was normalized.
Right.
So this person thinks, I think there is nothing. It's not a big deal for me to be able to do this. And maybe it was just a simple conversation that took place and this person reacted that way, silently.
Yes.
That could be one cause. Another thing could be there are these people who have issues around anger. And I want to say that it doesn't mean that if a person has issues around anger, they should abuse, not necessarily.
Yes.
But if they're not able to control that impasse, what we call impassivity, they're not able to control it. So they end up, the spiral just takes over.
Yes.
And before they get to know, they have executed that.
You're right.
So for this particular woman, there could be some series of things that were happening. And it got to this point of boiling. And I'll look at it this way also, the issue around the cycle of violence. Because we don't know if this was the first incident before
that
it
is
got
what
to
I
the
was actually
extreme.
coming to.
Yes.
You don't know if it's the first time that it has happened, if maybe they normally fight between them.
Yes. And this was just an explosion. And I'll say when we talk of the cycle of violence, it starts by just tension. And this person, let's say maybe this man was feeling like he's walking on eggshells every day.
Yes.
He's trying to do everything that he can. And also looking at this person, he could be seeing red flags, but ignoring. We keep saying these people are getting colors to color red to make it green and yellow.
Or you see red, you want to make it white.
Yes.
Yeah.
And therefore, this person also could be, maybe he has what we call self-rejection. Maybe he felt this is a woman that loves me, not other people. So I want to retain in this. So this person feel like they are walking on eggshells, but they cannot do anything. They want to be sorry for everything that happens, even if it is this other person who tries to look like a victim.
Yeah.
And then after that, explosion comes in.
Okay.
And that's where now the burning, the beating, the battering, and all that.
Yes.
Within no time, honeymoon. This man was married. Can you imagine, Betty? 380, someone going with it. And that tells you these people are so close to an extent of getting to know the pin.
The pin,
Yes. How could you transfer such amounts?
Yes.
So the honeymoon comes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Huyo ni shetani. Ashindwe. Hiyo hatutarudia, babes. Flowers, here they are. Before you get to know, calmness comes in. Before you get to know, tension builds. And within no time, they keep in that cycle. And then the trauma bonding comes in. That
trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding.
So mnakaa pamoja, you know that is your cycle.
Yes.
You now stay together like that.
You stay together. And you see, the victim is in that place of denial. They feel that I don't want to get out of this. Because there is release of hormones when this trauma bonding takes place. Whereby one feels, wow, there is dopamine. When you come and say sorry, I feel wonderful. If we now become intimate, oxytocin. It is done. Then adrenaline, when you, the fear, you know, when someone is like, we are in that tension, and then cortisol. It is released when someone is under so much stress. So these hormones makes trauma bonding.
Oh, is it?
There.
That's scientific.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That we call neurobiology for the trauma bonding.
Could you repeat that again? So the first one is...
this person feels like when we've sorted the issue.
Dopamine,
happiness, feeling good.
Yes.
The reward hormone.
Then you know, these are relationships. We now make love. We have sex. Let me use that word. Oxytocin is released.
Now
everything is sorted.
Is good.
And then there is the issue of, there is that fear that comes. You know, when there is tension,
the
adrenaline comes in. And then when there is that issue of stress, cortisol is released in the bloodstream.
All right.
Yes.
Scientific.
Yeah, it's very true. I agree with her. And that's why you find most of these abusers, especially the person who is being abused, they are not able to get out because it's like they're in a cycle. They move from this to this. It's just like someone who is mourning.
So it becomes normal.
Yeah, it's just like someone who is mourning over a loss. They keep moving from denial, acceptance, anger. You know, you keep moving. It's just, before you heal, you really have to keep on going round. And one of the things that I would want to say, this comes actually from the upbringing. And that's why it's very important to have very secure family. So that this girl and this boy is also comes from a family where psychologically, emotionally, you know, she was affirmed, given attention, you know, so that now she grows knowing that she's complete. This is a girl who is empty from her, you know, and she feels that this man should come in and feel something, that emotional emptiness in her, because I would want to know, if I were to deal with her, I would ask her, how was her relationship with the dad? Because such character are girls who never experienced fatherly love. And so when a man does something that looks like she doesn't want, she overreacts. You're getting this someone who is already sick in the mind. But sometimes they are aware or they are not aware. Also, they have this attitude of having very high moods. Sometimes I'm a furai. She's so happy. You feel like you're heaven on earth. Then another time she's just so annoyed. Other time she's very sad. So you have to keep on moving around her. You know, she becomes the center of interest because now, as she has said, you have to be very careful what you are going to say. Because now she has also taken control over your emotions. You are no longer living your life. It's like you have left your life to now study this person and live by their standards.
Yeah.
And that can be very, draining in a relationship because this person is actually draining you.
Yes.
There's nothing much that they're
That's
adding you
coming in.
unless there's something that they want. So abusers can really manifest in very different styles. Unlike but many are men. Many are men. As she has said about also sex, you find now after that the woman will tell you, I want to give you anything you want.
Yes, yes.
Any style you want.
Yes.
So and when you, of course, when you put toa in a man,
yeah.
it feels like you have reconciled. But this girl is actually sick in the mind. And that's why we keep on talking about this thing in this show, about therapy. Therapy is not a sign that you are weak. Therapy does not mean that you really don't know yourself. No,
Yes.
it is someone who is able to identify their boundaries. That I have this challenge, but I'm not able to manage it.
Okay,
And you get people like Doreen, sit down with them. Let them walk the journey with you and you heal. All of us, we have traumas from our past.
Absolutely.
What has helped us is sitting down with people and becoming
talking.
vulnerable.
All right.
So these are people who are also very good, who have a very good CV outside here. If you work with that lady and that man, you will love them.
Yeah.
They're very good outside here. They have a very good CV. They are very understanding. They will say sorry very fast.
Yeah.
But to the person whom they have a relationship with, these are the people that they become very abusive
Toxic
to them.
and
And so
abusive.
when you try to talk to the friends, and say that this person talks, they're like, who? Wewe, hapana, unamwekelea. You're getting point.
Yes,
You're
yes.
getting that point.
Yeah.
They are very good outside, but they have this person they abuse. And so that confusion, another thing also they do, you also fear to do something in their presence. You get the point? Like if I'm the person who is being abused, I fear doing something in the presence of my husband because he will keep on humiliating me. Sasa ulikuwa unaongea kizungu aje? You kept shrubbing.
You kept shrubbing.
Look at the way you are thinking.
Yeah.
Your brain, you have a problem with your brain.
Yes.
They keep on showing you there is something wrong with you.
Yeah.
That character assassination. Hebu na hii tumbo yako. Hata huku ifinya. So you are like, you really don't know.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so someone who keeps on attacking you,
Yes.
your things that you can't change, then it's a sign to tell you that this person is actually an abuser. Because some are physical and others are emotional.
Got you.
Someone who has character assassination,
Yes.
watch them. They'll end up being physical within a
So
little
it's
time.
progressive.
It's a way of putting you down until now when they come in to attack you, you are helpless.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
You can't
it's
even
a
speak
tactic.
out for
It's a script.
yourself.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right, we'll continue, but let's now just take a look at some of the feedback. Like I mentioned, it was quite a lot. Let's just take a look at some. Shiks Kamau, you're saying violence, vulgar language, like insults, waking up someone at night when you come in drunk and recklessly telling her to move out of your house. Oh, this sounds very personal. I mean, basically you abuse someone and you say you can't remember. She wakes up swollen eyelids, black eye, or telling her to sleep in the garage. Okay, this is actually a lot of examples. All right, moving on to another one. Let's see, this is Vivian Jepu. You're saying, mark those words your partner throws at you while drunk or angry. They really mean them. I think
yes,
Pastor
they really
Suma
mean them.
Hivyo.
They really
Yeah,
mean
so those things that people say when they're angry. Princess Gish is saying, Vivian Jepu, na kama akilewa anashindia kukuambia vile anakupenda sana na umpende tu hata kama ako mbali, might this be true? Okay, I think that's a conversation they're having. Yeah, moving on to another one here. This is Kaka Ethan, tells you what to wear, checks your phone constantly, says who you can or can't talk to, needs to know where you are all the time. Control often starts small and slowly increases.
True.
Yeah?
That's very true. You find them, they want to check and even they'll tell you are going out. There are even men and women who tell you, nani ametoka? Kuna mtu ametoka, and they create fiction. They tell you there is a man who was here, na amemuona kito, and you're like, who is that man?
That's sickness, isn't
Yeah,
it?
no.
What is
They're
that?
just abusing you. They just want to make your life miserable.
Yes.
Because they don't like seeing someone happy. Hawataki kuona ukiwa umefurahi.
Yeah.
So anything that they see you are calm, you look like, they must disorganize you.
There has to be something.
They have to do something to make sure that you feel you are not okay.
Disorganize your peace.
Thank you. That's a word. To disorganize your peace. To disorganize, to keep on having fear. Because these people also, what they also do, they also control. You find these men or women telling you they don't want you to work.
Yeah.
My money is enough.
That's the
And they'll not
Financial
provide you the
abuse.
basic needs that you need as a woman. You have a very good job. I've had women who had very good jobs. They stopped because the man kept on threatening. Na ukiendelea na hii kazi mimi nitakuacha. Hawa watoto nitaacha kusomesha. So the woman says, okay, my husband, let me stay. You are being abused financially. No, this is not a person who is supporting you.
Types of abuse.
There are very different types of abusers.
Actually, let's look at that. Let's look at that because that's important. The lady who said controls what you wear, controls who you can talk to, where you go, and all that.
Yes.
Doreen, let's just now break it down, like the emotional. How do you know you're being emotionally abused? Before even the physical, before the financial.
Wow. That one will be the words that this abuser uses. Because I'll say abuser drives in power and control.
Got you.
Power and control.
Power and control.
Yes, yes.
And so when it comes to the issues around emotions, is they want to tamper with your emotions.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to feel good about yourself. Every time they have to
So
create
that's
an
abuse.
image. That's an abuse.
Because
That's
a lot of people
emotional
make
abuse.
excuses like, maybe he just had a rough day and he was mean to me.
No.
No.
No. One of the psychologists, you know, the father of psychology, says that there is nothing like a slip of a tongue.
Oh.
Whatever someone says, that is what is in their brain. That's
They
what they
meant
meant
it.
to say that.
Got
So if someone tells you, I don't like the way you look, why can't you wear like somebody, you know, so and
Yes,
so?
yes.
Why are you looking like
Yeah.
that? Why can't you take care of yourself? You know, tainting your self-image. That makes you to have even low self-esteem about yourself. So that itself is emotional abuse.
Got you.
And this, you know, it gets deep down to you until you don't feel good about yourself.
And it happens a lot, eh?
Yes.
Yes.
Even when you dress up, you feel like, what did he say? Because you know words stick.
Yes.
And before you undo those words, it will take some time.
Do you think the emotional abuse, you know, is the most used or abused one? Because I'm not beating you, but whatever I'm telling you, you know, is so hurtful. So people would be like, no, I don't abuse my wife or my husband, but the things that they say to these people are equal to abuse because it's emotional. Maybe it's a bit subtle, more than the punching and the beating.
Very true,
Yeah.
very subtle, but it is very powerful.
Yeah, got
and
you.
I'll say this, that taints your image. You know, how you view yourself. There is nothing as bad as that. You know, it's better someone just slapping you. It is done, other than creating another concept of who
Doubt
you are.
about who you are.
Yes, and you
Got
start
you.
doubting yourself. That becomes so, it rides on many other things about you, because that is you.
Yes.
Yeah.
If someone tells you this is it, that thing will linger with
Will
you for
never
quite a
leave
long
you.
time.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you deal with emotional abuse, Pastor Sue? Mtu anakuja na kuambia actually mbona hata umenona, hata uendi gym, hata ule anakaa hivi vizuri, ule ana dress better kukushinda. How do you deal with that?
I think it comes with number one, accepting who you are. Because if you are not having self-awareness of who you are, then you become anything.
Yes.
Like,
or you become anything.
you become anything. If people come and tell you, no, you're not smart, you have a big tummy, and that offends you, you find people, it's like they know that thing that hurts you. One of the things that we need to have is to have a very strong self-esteem, that you are created in God's image.
Got you.
And you are wonderful. And all these things that people feel that you don't have, they don't really matter. What matters is the character within you, because you can have a very good physical body, but your character is opposite. So for me, if someone comes and begins to bring character assassination, I think I wouldn't take it much if it's Pastor Moon. And let me even give my husband. I think because of the level that I have grown, I know who I am.
So
and if
he
he
can't
tells me
touch
that,
you.
I know that is not him.
Yeah.
That's not him because I know him. There must be something that is. I would really not take it serious because I can't be him.
Yes.
And that person that is comparing me with, I can't be that person.
Absolutely.
You get the point?
Yes.
I know who I am now. So number one, women and men need to know who they are. And how do you get your identity? Of course, from God. He's the one who created you. Number two, as we are saying, get a therapy. Therapy is so important, my dear ones. And please, if you are there and you're struggling with any relationship, look for the therapy. Yeah, look for a counselor so that now these things can be unraveled and you can know who you are.
Got you.
Another thing, also seek help from your friends. You can share with someone and tell them, these days my fiancé, my husband is saying, what does that mean? Someone is able to interpret that and get someone who is genuine, not someone who is going to flatter you and tell you, no, why are you taking it?
So not bottling it up.
Don't
able to
bottle.
share.
Thank you, because the more you keep it up, it will come out as an explosion.
Yeah.
And
Got
when you vent it out, then it will have destroyed your mind and your even your health. You know, one of the things we need to understand is what Doreen has said. The more you keep on producing cortisol hormone, which is produced by your adrenal glands that are on top of your kidney, the more you keep on releasing that cortisol hormone, it destroys your body completely. Psychologically, you are not okay. You can't sleep well. You have a problem with insomnia.
Yes, yes.
You get the point. You don't think right. You get the point. It also gives you palpitation to the heart. It also gives you a very dull skin. So one of the things you need to
it
do,
affects your physical.
it affects the whole body.
Yeah.
Even your mood is affected, your spiritual life, because these words, as she has said, are in front of you. You know, this is a person that you love.
Yes.
And that's why it's very important. I think not to keep somebody in the heart. My husband is never in the heart, Betty. I really honor
What
Pastor
do you mean
Munene.
by that?
He's not in my heart. No. Oh, the person who is in my heart is God. Because Munene is a human being.
Yes.
He can change. I'm also a human being. I can change. And when someone is not in your heart, is in your head, you know, your mind can be renewed.
You can change.
It's very easy.
Do you know what you think about
You're
that?
getting that.
Is it possible to
Yeah.
not have somebody in your heart?
It's possible. Now you have to. You have to, because
protect yourself.
Yeah, and that's why I keep saying, as long as you're dealing with a human being,
Yes.
you know, don't trust 100%. Trust 80%.
Yes.
So
Trust
that you leave
yourself more.
a gap of frustration. Peradventure, if that this person changes, they don't hurt you.
Until
They
you
don't
leave a
bring
gap
you
of
down.
frustration.
Yes, you must leave a gap of frustration as long as you're dealing with human beings. The only person you cannot leave a gap of frustration is God.
God.
Because
Yeah,
God
I
does
got
not
you.
change his yesterday, today, and forever.
Hallelujah.
You're getting that. And so that kind of awareness is very important.
Yes.
And when you are that, you are complete, and you don't have to really explain. If someone comes and they're abusive, physical abusive, you know, emotional abusive, such people don't answer them.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, remain like there is nothing, but look for a solution.
Uh-huh.
But don't look like you are strong outside,
Yes.
yet inwardly you are really broken.
So basically, you're saying when you say don't put this person in your heart,
Yes.
is first of all your thoughts about you remain constant,
Thank
remain
you.
solid.
Thank you, Betty.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You should have continued.
No. Yeah, like they remain. The thoughts about yourself remain solid. They
Should be
remain
solid.
constant.
And that's why I keep telling girls and men, before you get into relationship, know who you are.
Got you.
Go into relationship when you are complete.
Absolutely.
Nobody completes you. This analogy,
Yeah.
at we are two halves coming together to make complete circle. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Come ukiwa complete, psychologically,
100%.
emotionally,
Yeah.
100%.
Got you.
Don't come at 50, you know, that your joy is actually controlled by your partner. No, you must also know that you need to be complete before you get into relationship.
Preach.
And so
I like
these
that.
are the things that these are the myths that we need to remove,
Yes.
because we have had a lot of myths that have put us into challenges. Number two, you can say no and quit from a relationship and from marriage. It is not a death penalty.
I was actually coming to that.
Yeah,
Is emotional abuse enough grounds to
Yes.
leave a relationship or a marriage or an
Yes, it
institution
can. If you're not able to, if you have not grown to the level of Pastor Sue. Like for me, I cannot divorce on account that if Pastor Munene is rude.
Yeah.
I know. Rude to who? Abusive to emotionally. No. That one, no. Even spiritually.
That one you already passed
I'm
it as
above.
Pastor Sue.
But physical, I can't now.
got you.
Physical. If it comes to physical,
Yes,
that one I cannot. Yeah, because now that's extreme. It can cost you your life.
Yes,
and so people need to know, and you need to weigh yourself and see, no, the way these things are, always follow your heart conviction. You will know when this person is going overboard. And there's nothing wrong separating.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong, first of all, leaving this person, so that you can also look this matter from a different angle.
Yes.
Instead, when you are inside the storm.
Yeah.
When you're inside the storm, it's like you're in a quagmire.
Got
You
you.
get stuck in that.
Yeah.
So people need to know the red flags, as we are talking
Yes,
about them,
yes.
that you know your limits, that no, I can't bear this. Especially if you find yourself not having sleep, you're not able to eat well. You find at the place of work, mtu anakuuliza, what is happening? Are you okay? No.
all the time, not attending to your children.
Yes, not at, yeah.
Yeah.
You keep. You used to groom yourself very well.
Yes.
Now you look unkept.
Got you.
You are even smelling your mouth. You have forgotten to brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Wait. That is
Take
depression.
care of yourself.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
don't
Okay.
stay in that state.
Okay.
And in the name, what will people say?
Yes,
Even
yes.
when you die, we will still say.
You will still
So you better live for the sake of your life.
For your life.
Oh,
I like
yes.
that. Now we've talked about you want to add something else?
Yes.
Yes, in regard to emotional violence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it is very silent and it is very powerful.
Yeah.
And
Actually, you're calling it emotional violence.
yes, in fact, it is violence. It's emotional violence. And I'll say this. You see, like this person who keep on checking. I've had people tracking even their spouses,
Yes.
where they
Their
are at.
phones, everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah, their
you know, they are
cars.
like hovering. They are like helicopters on their lives. And I will say this, at times, when people are not able to get out of that, is as a result of traumas they have gone through. Traumas
Yes.
of
From the
life.
abuser's point of view.
Yes, and also other traumas.
Okay.
Like childhood traumas. And this person comes up with a core belief. I think it was meant to be this way. Because I've gone through so much in life, even at this point, it is okay for me to go through this. And I want to say this, we cannot justify our acts by remaining in a traumatic experiences because we went through trauma. We must heal and rise.
Wonderful.
So that we can be able to call out some of those things. And we can be able to give a feedback.
Wonderful.
Because I think what is happening is that people are in relationships and they are not able to say, I need to create a healthy boundary around this.
Yes,
Wonderful.
This is how I feel when this is done to me. People are not able to voice issues. And it remains there, it looks like normal, and before you get to know, people are now succumbing even to suicidal thoughts and even attempts and depression. And I will say this, being in the field of mental health, I've seen many people who have gotten the diagnosis, mental health conditions, as a result of even emotional abuse. Emotional
So it comes with
abuse.
so
High
much.
blood
It
pressure,
comes with
diabetes.
so much because you can't imagine this is person that I loved, I trusted. Can this person say this? If they can say this, then I believe it is true. But that is not so.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. I
Yes.
like
Amazing.
that.
I
No, it's interesting to see how emotional violence, I like that you use the emotional violence
Yes.
bit, is so important.
Yeah.
Let's now come to the other one. I think the major one is now physical abuse. How do you tell, like this person who I've been seeing for a while, anafanya hivi, and maybe this will one day turn into a boiling water or a blow here and there, or somebody, act of violence against you, physical.
Yeah, one of the things that you need to, especially when you are dating with a man, and probably
Both
you do
sides,
something.
Pastor. So unajua sasa siku hizi pia wanawake
Let's begin even
wanapigana.
from dating. We've gone for this date with this guy, or you've gone this date with this girl, and because you came late or something has happened, they keep banging. People who bang,
But banging the table.
banging the table, and they're not banging anything, they're banging the table, anarusha kitu. With that, those people who throw, it's a red flag.
Banging anything,
throwing anything. They keep on telling you, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it.
Oh my God.
What? That's a red flag. You're
so
getting the
scary
point.
hearing you
Because,
do those things.
or you say something and they go to the wall and hit it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You get the point?
Yes.
When the wall is not there, who are they going to hit? You. So there are physical things that you're able to tell, because most of these people, as she had said, they are very controlling and they have a controlling power. They even don't allow you to talk and express yourself. They're the people who keep talking. You're just there listening. They just want you to keep on listening, because they are full of lies. Their life is not real. This life they are living is not real. Uongo inakaa ukweli. And so when you find someone who keeps on talking and crowds come and listen to them, that's what they are saying.
When you say crowds, Pastor,
I'm saying, unaona watu, they are very influential. You get the point? But when with the wife is always quiet, the man is always quiet. No, the woman is even confused. You mean you are advising people the right thing, and when we are with you, don't practice those things. But now, because amekuweka woga, you cannot respond. You can't say your voice. So one of the things you see is that they bang, they slap, they keep on, stamping their feet downwards. They are physical things that they do.
And you can't excuse that as just emotional
don't.
impulse or reaction
That's a
to
very
something.
serious red flag. That huyu mtu can be violent.
Sasa mtu akasirika, Pastor Su afanye ni kama nimekasirika.
Just speak it out. You can speak it out.
So there's a difference.
Yes. Another thing is the tone. The tone also changes. They become domineering and controlling, and they talk with a lot of finality. You can't change. You get the point?
What they say
when they see something and you have to follow that. They threaten you. Nimesema hivi, uketi chini hapo, na usitoke hapo. There's a woman who was telling me she has stayed for 3 days. The husband comes and opens the door. There's no food in that house. For 3 days, hajakula. She was drinking water. And I was telling her, couldn't you not even pass through the window? Or look for an exit. Sasa na nimeambiwa nikae kwa nyumba na nisikule. Hiyo ndio punishment. And she stayed there for 3 days. So one day when the husband opened the door, akasahau kufunguo, ndiye alisini, akaenda kwa neighbors.
Oh, really?
So you see now that person is amekuweka fear. And when they are before people, they even warn you, don't talk. I'm the one who is talking. Ukisikia mtu anakuambia when people come, keep quiet, I'm the one who is talking.
Yeah.
And keep nodding. They even give you what to behave. Just know you are dealing with an abuser. You get the point? Can you imagine we go with you and I tell you how to behave? You keep looking at me, you nod. You know, you must show people that we are together.
Very true.
And so you keep now, you are not living your life, you're now living his life.
That is so devastating,
honestly. They are so possessive. They are so much selfish because abusers thrive on selfishness. It is me, myself, and I. They have nobody else in their circle. They have nobody else in their mind. Things have to be themselves alone. And so when you find that kind of a character, then you need to know that you are dealing with the wrong person. And never assume that later on they will change. Abusers even escalate. They perfect. They become even worse. So the earlier, the better. Ukiona mkiwa na mtoto mmoja, please run for your life. Murife run. Because if you don't run for your life, I'm telling you, this person will finish you completely. And this is what we grew up seeing with our parents, the baby bloomers. Our mamas would say, ata uvumilie, ata sisi. No, what are we vumiliaing? There's nothing to vumilia. No. If things are not working in a marriage and a relationship, they are not working. That's a good thing with the marriage. If marriage is not working, it is not working. And if it is working, it is working. And the two of you must participate to make sure that this relationship stands. Not one person who keeps sacrificing, giving themselves. The other person is just waiting to receive. No, that's a sign of also an abuser. You get the point? Because now they want you to keep on giving and giving, yet them they are not giving you anything. You know? And also when you are passing through a very difficult moment, they are not, is it sympathetic or empathetic? They have no empathy.
Nothing.
Ati mamako amekufa, kwani ni wewe wa kwanza kukufa? You're like, my goodness. You get the point? You know, those they just push you. In other words, it's none of my business. You call your people, even when you have an occasion that you need, you know, to be support. They don't want to be there. So those are red flags.
Those are really, they feel so bad, honestly. And but we'll take a short commercial break, but we're coming back because I'd want to hear also what Doreen has to say about the people who abuse you physically. What are those red flags? All right, don't go away. We'll be back.